I noticed in the response that young men and women praised the name of the Lord. Everybody was praising, making the response, praising God, all the young men and the young women.
The rest of that line goes, and old men as well.
And all that. Oh, yeah. But I got suppressed here. Oh, so we remember Saint Rose of Lima, and let's see what it reminds us here, that her name was Isabel de Oliva. Isabel de Oliva, and she died in 1617, which is at the age of 31. So to accomplish holiness in that short of span of life. Wow, 31. Imagine that. Peruvian mystic from Peru, nicknamed Rosa because of her beauty, and her rose cheeks and all that. OP, or Dominican, tertiary, who lived a life of penance and solitude, caring for the homeless, the elderly, and the sick. First declared saint of the New World in 1672. So that's already the evangelization of the Americas, already producing saints. But even though recognized much, much later, as we have San Juan Diego in the year 2002, I think. Patroness of the Philippines and of South America, especially Peru. Also a florist and gardeners. So, and in the gospel, or the readings that we have for today, St. Paul then, all this is attributed to her, that how in her humility, it is the Lord who recommended her. She was such a humble person, said, and then also putting herself at the service of others, as we heard here about the poor and the sick and so on, in solitude and penance. And as she was, she says, betrothed to the one husband, to present you as a chaste virgin to Christ. So as the church offers her the first fruits of the evangelization in the entire continent. So it's such a wonderful affirmation of that missionary zeal. Sometimes we're very, very harsh on those early missionaries, and we think that they did everything wrong. No, they did a lot of things right, and besides, it wasn't so much just simply the missionaries, it was God's work, working in through them in establishing the kingdom, establishing the church in the new continent, and so we see that. At the same time, then we hear again her way of searching that relationship with the Lord Jesus, in such a way that it was like a treasure buried in a field, and of course she gave up everything and dedicated herself to find that field, and with a joy goes and sells all that she has and all her beauty in order then to acquire this great treasure that he has in the Lord Jesus. Again, the same thing, the gospel is being fulfilled. The kingdom of heaven is like a merchant in searching of fine pearls, and of course here it is again being found. Thing discovered right here, and we're given this opportunity to commemorate, remember St. Rose of Lima. And remember, as we go around in confirmations, and Marty will attest to that, lots of people write all about St. Rose of Lima, and they take the name Rosa. Rosita, you have something?
Question. It's just a question. It seems to me somewhere in the back of my mind I've heard that she and Martin de Porres were not only contemporaries, but friends. And I was just wondering if you remember anything of that.
It is only vague for me, but I think they did know each other. But they don't do too much on that relationship.
No.
I guess it was in solitude and recluse, and so did Martin de Porres. And again, another great saint. there. We usually don't say that, but in the Spanish community we do un mulato, su papá o su mamá era una negrita, and so we had the great charming saint, the Martin de Porres, and sometimes we mispronounce the word Porres, it says Porras, like you crashed, Porras, So we just play with the name as well. Well, let us then continue with honoring Saint Rose of Lima, that we may discover many of her beauty, much of her spirituality, and as the order reminds us, a mystic. So at times we need to dig in and find out what is that mysticism. How is it that she was able to be that in deep communion with the Lord, and in this flowering new evangelization of the whole continent, and especially in Lima, Peru. Let us then continue.